Jose Mourinho was appointed head coach of Fenerbahçe in June 2024. So far, he has had an interesting reign in Turkey. He has blasted the refereeing standards, been told he should leave by club captain Fernando Muslera, and even told the Premier League to get ready for his return. Despite all of this though, Fenerbahçe actually sits second in the table, only losing once in 11 games. This is mainly down to Mourinho's 4-2-3-1 tactics. How will Mourinho's new tactic do in FM24? Welcome back into the channel. In today's tactic testing video, I'm going to be testing a tactic that has been designed to replicate Jose Mourinho's 4-2-3-1 tactic that he has been using to great effect at Fenerbahçe. Today's tactic was designed by a member of the community, not just a member of the community, one of my good friends. This tactic has been designed by FMDNA, Tony himself. If you haven't checked him out already, make sure to go to the description, check out his channel, drop him a like and subscribe to the channel. I will also link the video that I got this tactic from in there too, and there will also be a link to the tactic in the description. For today's video, I'm going to be putting his tactic in the hands of Liverpool, Brighton and Ipswich to see how it gets on in the hands of three very different teams. Before I jump into the tactic test and show you how it got on though, I need to ask for a small favour. I'm currently on the path to 10,000 subscribers. I've recently just surpassed 8,000 and I'm looking to get to 10,000 before the release of FM25. So if you don't mind, drop a like and subscribe to the channel on this video. It will help me out no end. Right then, let's jump into some results. We're going to break this tactic down at the end. Also, we're going to go through everything that's happened with Liverpool, Brighton and Ipswich. To start the results roundup, we are going to look at the Premier League, as the three teams that I chose to test the tactic with are all playing in the Premier League. We're going to go through that first. We will then turn our attentions to each club to get a bit more detail about what happened in their seasons, starting off with Liverpool, then going to Brighton and then to Ipswich. But to start us off, let's look at the Premier League table, where we can see, using FMDNA's tactic, Liverpool would go on and win the league. They would score 89 points. They would win 27 of 38 games, draw 8, lose 3 times, have a goal difference of 52 and finish on 89 points, meaning that they would win the league by 6 points from Tottenham. Next team that we tested it with was Brighton. They would finish in 7th place and they would qualify for the Europa League. They would win 16, draw 9, lose 13, have a 6 goal difference and 57 points. And sadly, Ipswich would not do well with this tactic. They would get relegated, finishing in 19th place, where they would only win 6 times, they would draw 12, they would lose 20 times, have a minus 35 goal difference, and they would have 30 points. So Ipswich performing as they would be expected to, getting relegated. Brighton doing around where they're expected to as well, qualifying for the Europa League, and Liverpool would go on to become champions. Looking at a few stats on this screen then, Mo Salah would be the best average rated player in the league with 7.47, Solly March 7.28 and Virgil van Dijk with 7.19. You'd have Alisson keeping 18 clean sheets and Mo Salah would get 6 Man of the Match awards. Let's look at Liverpool's other competitions then. So in the Champions League, they would get to the semi-finals where they would be knocked out by Milan. In the FA Cup, they would be knocked out in the 5th round by Manchester United, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth to lose to their rivals. And in the Carabao Cup, they would end up winning the competition, beating Tottenham in the final 4-1. They would also win the curtain raiser with the Community Shield. Let's have a look at the data hub to see some of those numbers then. So in terms of goals per game, it would be 1.95. Goals conceded per game, very good at 0.58. 12.9 shots per game, and they would have a 91.44% pass completion ratio. Looking at the squad then, let's find out what happened in terms of goals. So Darwin Núñez would be the top goal scorer with 22, Mo Salah with 18, Cody Gakpo with 17, Virgil van Dijk getting up there with 17, and Alexis McAllister would also score 17 goals. In terms of the assists, you would have 17 from Szoboszlai, 16 from Trent, 13 from Curtis Jones, and 13 from Alexis McAllister. Moving on to Brighton, looking at their other competitions. So they would get knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup by Tottenham Hotspur. They would get knocked out in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Southampton. If we look in their data hub and check out their other numbers, so they would score 1.32 goals per game, concede 1.16 goals per game, have 10.47 shots per game, and they would have a 90% pass completion ratio. In terms of the squad for the goals, 13 would be top goal scorer for João Pedro. Ferguson and Veltman would get 7 apiece. In terms of assists, Solly March would get 8, James Milner 7, and Buonanotte would get 5. Finally then, we move on to Ipswich, who are the last team in the test. Looking at their other competitions, they would get knocked out in the 4th round by Derby County in the FA Cup. They would get knocked out in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Crystal Palace. Looking at the data hub for some extra numbers then, 0.82 goals per game, 1.74 conceded, 7.34 shots per game, and a pass completion ratio of 82.29%. Looking at the squad to see who would get the most goals and assists, most goals would go to George Hurst with 11. You'd then have Jack Taylor on 6, Jack Clark, Connor Chaplin, and Sammy Smodics on 5, with Liam Delap also. In terms of the assists, that would be Leif Davis leading the way with 9. You'd have 4 for Jack Clark, 3 for Chaplin, O'Shea and Broadhead. Right then, those are the results of the test. Let's break this tactic down by having a little look at it. So this is the Jose Mourinho Fenerbahçe 4-2-3-1. Let's break it down by starting off with a sweeper keeper who is set to defend. On the left, you have an inverted fullback set to defend. 2 ball-playing defenders, both set to defend. And on the right, a complete wing-back set to support. You have a ball-winning midfielder set to defend. A box-to-box midfielder set to support. On the left, a winger set to attack. On the right, an advanced playmaker set to attack. Through the middle, attacking midfielder set to support. And at the top of the pitch, a complete forward set to attack. So the tactical style is custom to FMDNA. The mentality is balanced. In possession will look like this. In transition looks like this. And the out of possession will look like this. So that is a breakdown of the Jose Mourinho Fenerbahçe 4-2-3-1 designed by FMDNA. Don't forget to go out and check his channel. The link will be in the description down below. The video also where he tests this tactic will be there too. And the link to download it also is in the description of the video. This is a tactic that has done well in the hands of Liverpool. It also did well for Brighton, where they would qualify for the Europa League, but maybe not so good for those smaller teams who need your help at the bottom of the Premier League. Before I wrap this one up, once again, a little call to arms. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Really would appreciate the help on getting to 10,000 subscribers before I get to FM25. If you can help, I would be eternally grateful. For this one though, I'm going to leave it there. Big thanks for watching. I'll see you on another video soon.